We're back in the Innovation Alley podcast room at Ramp Up Weekend X. We have our co-host Chris Johnson, David Awasi, and we're talking about Caplock.
That's correct. Yes.
Awesome. So, kick it off. What is Caplock? What's it all about?
Good. So, over the last year or so, it's been a big time of change in North America. There's been a lot of problems with politics and Trumpism and fake news, and that's just been a
makes for good radio.
Yes, that's just been a massive problem. And one of the things I identified was a problem was just people stuck in their political bias, not looking at the other sides of the table, not having better political conversation.
Hashtag Fox News.
Fair enough. So basically, my idea is to solve this problem that everyone has. Actually, even going to Europe right now, there's a rise in nationalism and just right wing, and obviously even the left wing has this problem of not really looking at what the right wing is saying about different opinions. So I'm creating a website. It's called Caplock. So Caplock with an LOK at the end. It helps you for every piece of trending news. You will see all the different opinions on that piece of news. So you see what the left is saying about it. So if, say, for example, Trump did something, of course it does.
Pulls out of the Paris Climate Accord or something.
Yeah. So the left are like, this is horrible. And the center are like, let's see how this plays out. Right. And then the right are like, this is amazing. We love this.
See, sounds like your site could just have that up all the time.
Yes.
And you're covered.
Yeah, so basically the idea is that you would at least have a broader perspective and see where everyone is coming from. And then through that, you're able to have a better conversation, knowing where the other side is coming from. And instead of a shout and match, you're actually talking about facts and data. And,
Well, so that intrigues me a lot. I spent way too much time listening to like Fox News, MSNBC on the way into work every morning. And it's, of course, with that news feed today, it's 24 hours of just chatter, yelling, shouting. But it takes a lot of time invested to understand, like, what exactly was the policy that people are arguing about.
Yep.
So how will Caplock get me through that chatter? So if you're displaying those opinions, but how will I get through that noise?
So what we do is we have algorithms that will help find out what is the most important news right now. What is everyone literally talking about right now? And then once we find those very important news, then what we do is we find pieces of credible news sources that would give us all the information we need, exactly what we need. Now, obviously, we know every piece of news, let's say New York Times or Fox, they have their bias, but we at least know they have specific facts related to their bias.
So from a user standpoint, am I sort of looking at, let's use the Paris Climate Accord withdrawal, which is obviously major news last week. So am I going to your site and I'm going to see, Trump withdrawals from this, and then am I going to see sort of like centrist news, then I'm visually going to see the more right-leaning sources and more left-leaning sources on the same issue? Like, how
Absolutely.
are you going to present
So on the same issue, you would see what the left exactly are reporting about that news, right? So you would see, for example, I actually have something exactly like that right now, and so action. So from the left, you see Trump ends trip where he started, at odds with allies and greed on Russia. And then the center, like, well, G7 leaders agreed to fight protectionism and whatnot. And then on the right, Fox declines to join world leaders at G7 affirming Paris climate accord.
Now, I'm going to steal this for a second. I want to show it to the folks at home, because you have a working prototype here.
We do.
And this is perfect. So now, let's get on up here. See, first story, it goes left. We have a center-based story, right? So this is our opinions.
Yes.
From each view on that one story. That's awesome.
And then you'd have like a short snapshot of like the first paragraph to give you like a quick context. And if you're interested, you can click in, you get linked to the website and read a lot more. And obviously we have some metrics here where we have L, C, C. So basically you can actually vote on how accurate you think it is. So if you think this is not as left as you think it is, then you can tell us it's not as left. And then we can have like a crowd sort of sourcing.
Right.
Trying to use the wisdom of the crowd to actually verify how accurate we are.
So the $1 million question, how do you make money? Are you going to am I paying 99 cents a month for this? Am I paying upfront? Or is
Good
it
question,
ad dollars?
which is a fantastic question. Now, we have a few ideas bouncing around. One of the first ideas is we're looking to be an important source of polling data. So the idea is that once you click on every piece of news, you can have a quick survey data question, so you can answer some quick data, and then will be a source of like data for almost anything.
So like where do you stand on this policy? And then they'll have
So say, for example, Justin Trudeau legalized marijuana, and we can say, 20 to 25-year-olds fully agree with this policy. 40 to 60-year-olds do not like this at all.
You'd start to understand who I am as an individual reader based on probably the type of activities I'm taking,
Absolutely.
and then my specific results.
Yes.
So that seems pretty powerful to me.
Yeah, and then obviously down the road, the more users, obviously the ad revenue will come in. But like in the meanwhile, we're looking to be a source of just data for any sort of bodies interested. And then one more thing we have access to finding what your political leanings are, so you can actually learn more about yourself.
Well, that is interesting, because I'll
Yeah.
tell you the truth, and I think I told Mike this a few weeks ago. I actually didn't even know where I stood anymore.
Yeah.
Because the parties changed policies. I actually went online. I took a survey to understand where I fit federally, where I fit provincially. Not like I don't know who I support, but I wanted to understand what each policy supports in terms of my views, and but to have it as a dynamic,
Everything
ongoing
in one place together.
Yeah, I love it.
And another thing we also have is like political events. So obviously we have kind of elections kind of creeping in a little bit. If you're really, really wanting to get engaged in political process, you can find out if there's a coffee house meeting or there's whatever meeting around you.
So are you saying we should put you up first on Sunday night in front of the mayor and the ministers before they all duck out?
So this is like very important for like as a democracy to actually get young people like me. I talk to a lot of people at the university. I just graduated last year, and I found that a lot of people don't really get involved in the process, and they don't really care that much, which is a shame, because they should. And if they know where they stand on the political spectrum, and they know where they stand on issues, because we have like controversial issues like abortion, immigration, stuff like that, you can actually see what all the sides are saying on those controversial issues.
Excellent. Well, I'm really, really interested in seeing what the actual pitch looks like Sunday night.
you, sir.
I think it's a solid idea. And thanks a lot for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, a pleasure.
Good luck.
Super fun.